Welcome to a Crypto 101 edition of Coffee, Eggs and Inspiration. In this edition, I'm going to talk through the different types of exchanges you can use for buying, selling and transferring cryptocurrency. Let's go. So if you're like me, it's probable that you started out in the crypto world on a centralized exchange. I use Coinbase, Binance and Bitpanda. There are many others out there. I've got a list of them on my screen here: Binance, Coinbase, FTX, Kraken, KuCoin, Huobi Global, Bitfinex, quite a few of them out there these days. The advantage is simplicity. You can easily exchange fiat currency or put fiat currency into the account and then start trading, buying Bitcoin, Ether, etc., whatever the exchange offers. And increasingly these exchanges are also offering new services. Coinbase, for example, has a wallet. It offers a debit card, so you can actually use crypto in the way that you would use fiat on a card. And things like staking, where you can put lend coins or seed coins into a consensus protocol and earn returns on them. So exchanges are still great. I've been in crypto for a good sort of 2 or 3 years and I still use them as my sort of primary thing. I also have accounts, crypto accounts inside my Revolut bank account. As well as, and I see PayPal, I think, is offering it as well. So I think we're going to see different types of centralized exchanges cropping up. It won't just be the sort of pure plays like Coinbase, but also neobanks that offer traditional banking services as well. They're pretty good, I think. The fees differ depending on the platform. They can be a little bit higher than some of the decentralized alternatives, but they're a great facility and a great entry point, particularly into the crypto world. Even sophisticated investors will use centralized exchanges, and increasingly institutions are starting to use those exchanges as well. So that's centralized exchanges. A decentralized exchange is different primarily because rather than the exchange playing a sort of custodial service where they're holding the keys effectively to your cryptocurrency, you're in control of those keys. In a decentralized exchange, and the trade, it's a peer-to-peer sort of market-making type trade, is organized through that decentralized exchange. It's sort of a meeting place, so to speak, but you're effectively in control of your private keys. Some people prefer that. There are some countries where centralized exchanges don't exist as well. So peer-to-peer, decentralized exchanges, I'll come on to peer-to-peer in a moment. Decentralized exchanges are pretty popular and increasingly popular. Again, I've got a list, my decentralized exchanges over here. Uniswap and PancakeSwap are probably the most well known and the biggest of them, but there's others like Serum, Trader Joe, all sorts of strange names in there, but Uniswap and PancakeSwap are the primary examples. Which brings me on to peer-to-peer, and the reason I tripped over my words before is that decentralized exchanges are effectively a peer-to-peer trading mechanism. You are swapping your currency or trading your cryptocurrency with somebody else. So peer-to-peer networks or exchanges are also decentralized in the sense that two people who own cryptocurrencies are meeting effectively and trading with one another. A good analogy is you can think about a peer-to-peer network kind of like an eBay, where maybe I want to sell my computer monitor, I find a buyer for it, and we execute a trade. and the role that the P2P exchange plays is essentially a little bit of security. There's an escrow service. So if I agree to buy some crypto from you or trade Ethereum for Bitcoin or whatever the transaction is, the peer-to-peer exchange will sort of lock that up, and it won't release the transaction or allow it to go through until both parties have confirmed. So it provides some security over that transaction in the same way that eBay does in a peer-to-peer sort of trading mechanism. Some of the top peer-to-peer exchanges, I've got my list here: Plaxful, Local Bitcoins, HODL, Hold On for Dear Life is the acronym, and Binance also has a peer-to-peer, and there are a few others. Peer-to-peer and decentralized exchanges are pretty popular actually, mostly in emerging markets where the crypto centralized exchanges maybe don't exist, or because many people in emerging markets don't have bank accounts, and of course the centralized exchange sort of starts with fiat currency and then it gets you in to crypto, whereas peer-to-peer you're dealing simply in cryptocurrency itself. And keep in mind, that might sound strange to you if you're sort of sitting in London where I am, or New York, or Sydney, but about a third of the world's population is unbanked, at least the adult population. It's almost 2 billion people, 2 billion adults just don't have bank accounts. So you can see why people like to use cryptocurrency in those emerging markets. It's a convenient alternative where there are few alternatives effectively in the traditional banking sense. Hope you enjoyed that.